Hello? Check,
Hello?
check.
Check, check.
It worked!
It worked!
It's really deep.
Radio check, 1, 2. Radio check, 1, 2. 1, 2.
Hey RCT, this is going to be my video explaining what project I've been working on for some time. This is actually a project I've been working on for some time. I actually learned about this quite a few years ago, just never really clicked in my mind to act on it. So in front of you, you're going to see a few Nextel phones, and what I discovered a couple years ago, I saw this somewhere that you can use these outdated flip phones, these Nextel flip phones, as walkie talkies without the internet service or the network service. So I've had this this phone for a very long time actually. This is my first Nextel phone that I've ever had, back in 2001, some time ago. And I was a fan of these because of how the range. Of course, these were using cell towers, the ident system, but these were impressive to me because of how unique they were at the time. Text messaging wasn't really a thing just yet, or we were just being introduced to text messaging. You can see here it's a full keypad, and there was a way to text message, but I think they charged 25 cents a message or 75 cents a message. And so when we came across, or I learned about Nextel, I went out and purchased this phone and the service plan. And in fact, the police department that I was working for at the time was using these for other units. So again, I just went out and got my own. So this is my first one. Is the Nextel Motorola Nextel i1000 Plus. This had email, internet, text, and of course the push to talk. So hopefully you can see that. I don't know where the camera is at. This is again a very old flip phone. This is not my first flip phone and not my first cell phone, but definitely my first Nextel cell phone at that time. After this cell phone, I actually started learning about other cell phones that you can swap over to. Once I had this one, I think the next phone that I had was similar to this one, but it was just, there was no LCD screen. There was no buttons on the outside. I think it was just a plain one like this. And I think it's the IC. I can't really remember what the number was. I'll have to see. Maybe I can pull up a screenshot of it so you can see which one it is. From there, I continued to collect somehow all the Nextel phones. Some of them I borrowed from friends. Some of them I bought from friends. Some of them I bought at the stores. And over time, I lost them. They broke. Again, this is, I don't know how many years ago, 15 years ago. I don't know how many years that is from now. And Nextel, at some point, I think Nextel went to Boost Mobile. And Boost Mobile was prepaid service instead of Nextel. It was the same thing if you remember where you at. And so I think when that came around, I actually got out of these Nextel phones and I really lost touch with them. And so I bought this one a while ago because I still had the SIM card. And again, I learned that you can use these older, newer Nextel phones as walkie talkies. Now, from when I spent enough time on R&R and radio reference, and I learned that it's the newer Nextel phones, not the older ones. So I don't know if the original Nextel phones would work. I think they only work on the new Nextel Sprint. So Nextel sold or merged with Sprint, and Sprint was the last one to have these, and I think 2008, or I forgot what year it was, that they actually stopped the Nextel production, or the Nextel network. And again, they use IDEN, and IDEN, I'll have to look at the acronyms. I was reading on it for some time about it, and it's just another digital radio format that they use, and I think it's patented. So it's not, I again, with enough reading, I read that it's not a frequency that is programmed to scanners. You can't pick it up on scanners. It's not a frequency, or well, it's a frequency, I think, within 800 or 900 megahertz. Again, from what I read, when you are on the network, it's using the IDEN 800 megahertz. And if you're off the network using the Walkie Talkie, there's a few different ways they named it. They named it the Direct Connect, which was original Nextel way to call it DC, or Direct Connect. And then I think Sprint continued with that phrase, Direct Connect. But again, I think Direct Connect to them meant on the network, and off the network was something else. I'm not too sure. So again, I bought this one. Unfortunately, I bought a battery, I bought a SIM card, and it wouldn't power up. So I had to abandon this. And again, this was, I don't know how many years ago. It just kind of sat around, and I really did nothing with it. I thought, again, I hope that these two would be able to talk to each other, and that's just not the case. So this is just now paperweight. It's a vintage a trophy of the early 2000s, and again, this is just something that sat around. And again, I came across it, and I was motivated again to look into it, and so I bought this one here. This is supposedly brand new. I mean, it did come in the package. It did come in the box. The SIM card wasn't activated yet. Unfortunately, this one did not work either. This is, I forgot what they call this one, but it was a Buzz. That's what it was. It's a Buzz, IC502 Buzz. I think it was just the bigger version of these. You can kind of see it's a little bulkier. The battery is a little bit bigger. It's on the charger right now. So again, this didn't work, and I said, all right, forget it. And then again, just time passed by. I went ahead and bought another one of these, the IC502. I think the reason why I kept buying these is because these were the only ones I kept seeing on eBay. You can't buy these anymore at the store. You can't buy these through Sprint or Nextel. These are really just ones you find on eBay, if anything. This is really the only place I found these, is on eBay. And so I bought one. I think it was this one first, and it turned on, and we are going to try it out to see how it goes. All right, so you got your original welcome screen, and let's see if it works. Cool little blue light. There we go. We miss you, Nextel. Or Boost Mobile. The time and day, no, okay. Entering Sprint service area. Well, we're not going to get any service with that, so we'll just give it a few minutes. So no service. Again, this is just not, there's a SIM card in here, but there's just no, can you guys see that? There we go. There's no service at all whatsoever. So again, this is someone else's SIM card, so it did come with a few contacts I haven't deleted. Maybe that's just for another project later on. So, all right, so here's that one. This one's on. All right, no service. And let's turn this one on. And these are in pretty good conditions. They're not brand new, but they're really durable. Nextel. Whoa. Nextel was really good, or really big on the military specifications. In fact, I hate to admit, I was quite I guess, unappreciative with this phone here. I used to chuck it across the field just because I knew it wasn't going to break, and it really is durable. As much as I tried to break it or destroy it or have a reason to buy another phone, it just never happened. It's durable, it's solid, shock proof, and it meets all the military specifications. So good products, and again, that's why I went from Motorola to Motorola radios. If you see my other YouTube videos, I'm just a Motorola fan. It's just the majority of the brands I've worked with. So anyways, all right, so this one's on. All right, so what I learned, and we're gonna see if it works together. So you're going to, let's see, menu, Walkie Talkie, direct connect. It says switching to direct talk radio. Okay, there we go. Direct talk radio. I think it said channel 1, code 1. Okay. Go back to this one. We're going to go to menu, down to Walkie Talkie, direct talk. That's what it is, direct talk. That's what they're calling it. Okay. And then channel 1, sorry. Channel 1, code 1. So we're going to see if it works. All right, here we go. 1, 2, and 3. Check, 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 check. Hello, hello. Check, check. Hello. Hello. Check,
Hello?
check.
Check, check.
It worked.
It worked.
All right, there we
All
go.
right, there we go.
So it says channel 1-1, I guess channel 1, code 1. Check, check, check. 1, 2.
Check, 1, 2.
1, 2.
1, 2.
All right, 1, 2, 3, radio check.
Radio check.
Radio check over now.
Check over now.
So there you go. That's pretty cool. I haven't tested these out in the field yet to see how far they go. Again, reading the radio reference chatter, it did say that these can go up to a mile or 2 mile, same as the Walkie Talkies. Again, I don't know the wattage. I don't know if it's 5 watts or 10 watts. Again, the reason why the original Direct Connect worked better was because it was pinging off of cell phone towers. So it's kind of like when you're keying up on your ham radio or your GMRS, if you have a repeater for your GMRS radio, it's your number one, your antenna is going to be much higher than your radio. Your radio is going to hit that antenna and they're going to repeat it, and you're at a higher level, so there's more clearance. And so that's generally how that Direct Connect worked on the IDEN system. As far as radio to radio, I don't know. Again, IDEN, IDEN. Again, I'll have to look up what it stands for. I completely forgot. I should have wrote notes, and I keep not writing notes, and I sound like a clown on here. But either way, we're going to continue. So again, so what I checked, and you cannot. I'm going to see if you can see this here. You cannot. Hello, focus. Pick up check 1 2 1 2
1, 2. 1, 2.
So you can't pick these up on any scanners. IDEN again is a different digital format similar to P25 or Kenwood's digital. It has its own program that only these can code and decode amongst each other. Similar to P25, it's the same thing, similar to having a NAT code or PL or DPL. These have its own coding. So, but here's another test I want to try. I want to see if we can change the channel. Okay, so I'm going to, come on, where are you? Edit channel code. So let's try code 5. Let's do code 2. Okay. And let's see if these two talk to each other on different codes. Nope, didn't pick anyone up. See? And let me go around this way. Nope. So I'm assuming it's actually trying to connect to another radio, and if it doesn't get an acknowledgement, it kicks it back. So that's actually pretty cool. Same thing. So it seems like both of them would have to be on the same frequency and code for it to work. Alright, so let's see. Let's change this one to the same setting. Options, edit code and channel. What did we say? Code 2. I don't know how to change this. There we go. Here it says receive all. Let's change it to receive all. How about let's try that? So maybe it'll receive all the codes regardless, or all the channels and all the codes. So let's try that. So this is going to receive anything and everything. All right. Receiving, this is on 1, 1. Check, check. Check, check. Look at the difference. This is 1, 2, and this is just 1. Check, check. Check, check.
Check, check.
So let's put both of them on receive all. Options, edit. How do you do this? There we go. Receive all, done. Does that mean if it's on different channels and different codes, you're still going to get it? I guess it's like having two radios on scan and they're going to pick up each other anyways. Alright, here's the first one. Can't transmit. So that didn't work. Let's go back to the drawing board. Walkie Talkie. 1 and 1. 1 and 1. Huh. So I'm not too sure why that didn't work, because they're both on receive. So let's change them back to 1 and 1. Okay. Channel 1, receive, receive. Nope. Alright, let's go back. Down to direct talk, options, edit. Let's take it out of receive all. One and 1. Let's check to see how many channels there are. Doesn't seem like there's more than one channel, but let's confirm. So how many codes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there's 15 codes. Go back to 1. And then how many channels? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 channels and 15 codes. That's actually pretty good. let's go back just to be sure. 1 and 1, code 1, channel 1, done. Okay. So this one received it. But let's see if it can talk back. This one's still on receive all, channel 1, code 1. Nope. So it doesn't want to communicate now. We'll change this one back to the same settings. We'll take it, so it's still on channel 1, code 1. I just think maybe because it says receive all, it's not working, or it doesn't want to work for some reason. Let's see. Check, check.
Check,
1,
check.
2.
Check, 1, 2.
Check 1, 2.
Check 1, 2.
1, 2, 3, 4,
1, 2,
5.
3, 4, 5.
Check, check, 1, 2.
Check, check, 1, 2.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Radio check, radio check.
Radio check.
Alright, there you go. That's all I really have on these right now. These are the only 2 pair that work. At some point, I'll probably have to get another one just so I can see if 3 can talk at the same time, like a regular walkie-talkie, like a 3000 or FRS. That's going to probably be my next goal, is to see if that's possible. Can you use these as walkie-talkie? How far they can go. I haven't found a way to text message on these. If you can, maybe they only programmed the direct talk and there's no other options or other features to use without the network. But either way, it's pretty cool. The only other challenge I am running into is that these batteries that it's using here, these are, they don't make them anymore. I'm pretty sure. I've had to buy used ones. I haven't found any new ones, and these are starting to bulge, so it's starting to look pretty bad. That means it's deteriorating, and that's not good. So that's, hopefully I can make these last, and hopefully I can buy a few other ones. That way, if they do die, I can swap it out. The charger for one of these didn't work, unfortunately, so it wouldn't charge the battery in the phone. And that's why I had to go over here and buy this solo charger here. So the BK10 came actually with this phone here. This phone, it came with a bigger back case, and it's just a little bigger. I don't know if it was designed to make the battery last longer. But you can see the size difference in both of these. So, and again, this one does key up, or I'm sorry, this one does turn on. Unfortunately, oh, not today. Well, there's no battery in it, right? Come on, get it together. Let's see what it does. So it turns on. That's the great part, but it stays in a setup stage, a setup screen, and it doesn't do anything more than that. So I just don't know if it was a defective phone to begin with, and I got gooped and I bought it, and now it's just another paperweight like the i1000. Hopefully at some point it decides to work. I don't know, but this is what it stays stuck on, just in progress. I did stick a SIM card in there. I put the original one in there that wasn't activated, and I read somewhere on Radio Reference that maybe it's because it needs to be a activated old inactive SIM card, if that makes sense. So the radios only work on these phones if they have an old active SIM card. Meaning it's not active through the network. I can't make phone calls, I can't text message, but it has, I think what it needs is a pre-programmed direct connect number. So a direct connect number, there's a way to look that up, and I'm not too sure how to do that on here. First name, select name. On my old i1000, there is a way to look up at your your direct connect code, and it was like 1 star 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 star 1. Very unique number. And so in order for these phones to work as walkie-talkies, I think it has to have one of those pre-programmed. Again, I'm just assuming. I don't know if that's the case, but that seems to be the only way it works if it's an active old SIM card. So again, the SIM card that came with it wasn't activated. It didn't have a phone number. It didn't have a direct connect number. And I think that's why at first it wasn't working. Again, I went and bought another SIM card that was active. I put it in this one. Are you able to see that? Yeah, I put it in this one and it was still a no-go. So I still couldn't get this one to go beyond the screen that it has here, the in progress. And so both of these, that's the only way I was able to get that to work. So there's generally a way to look at your own phone number. What's here? My info. So here it is. Mobile number. I guess I don't want to say it because in case I don't want you guys to start making phone calls to this person. So maybe I'll cut it and cut that part out. But here is a direct connect number. I don't know if you can see that. It says 154*51*1032. That is the unique direct connect number for this phone. So in order for it to receive any sort of direct connect, I believe that's the number I would need in order for these two to work even off network. I could be wrong. It could be just using radio to radio feature like any other radio, or I could be right. I'm not too sure yet, so I'll also have to dig into that. So alright, well, this is all I have for this. This is my most current project. I think this is pretty cool. And in a way, I think this is a good way to add. I know most, if not all, are looking for some sort of a private way to communicate or some sort of an encryption. Some radios do come with encryption or a scrambler now. I did a review on the Cotree CO06D, and that came with a scrambler, and it worked really well. But I guess my biggest interest right now, or biggest project, is to find the smallest radio with the most power in it, meaning the most features, the more options. The smaller the better. The smaller the better. It's something I'm looking for, especially if we're here around the house and we want to talk to each other in different rooms. We were using the FRS radios, the on Walmart FRS radios, and they just don't sound well. The volume's a little too low, and of course FRS is just anyone can hear, and we're always talking about my neighbors, so we don't want our neighbors to accidentally hear. What are the chances of them having an FRS? Well, it's very likely. Again, you can buy those radios just about anywhere, and so I have to remind her not to be saying anything that's gonna officially identify our neighbors, but she doesn't care or realize at some point, and I get a little concerned with exposing too much over the radio, and of course anybody else can be hearing. So the Cotree is a little too big. It's just not what we're looking for. There's a few other smaller radios I was looking for. Again, that's DMR, because again, DMR is less likely to be heard on FRS or even scanners. This scanner right here, I'm sure I already covered it in my other video, but this scanner has P25 and analog, and in order to get DMR frequencies or hear DMR, you have to pay to get it updated. Silly, whatever, but what are the chances someone's going to do that, or what are the chances someone has this scanner? I want to say it's not likely. That's just my hopes and dreams. But if that's the case, move on to something that's a little bit more secure, so you can talk about your neighbors all day long, and they're never going to know, or they're never going to hear. And this is really a cool way to go about it, because iDEN is just not reachable on the scanners. I hope I'm saying that right. IDEN. I don't think there's any other way to pronounce IDEN. But that's another level of encryption or another level of secure communication. They don't go far. I don't think you can build a repeater with IDEN. Again, it's a proprietary format, so I don't know how likely it is to break it down. Surprised someone hasn't done it. I'm surprised there's not more of these out there, or I wish this was a bigger thing where someone says, hey, what Nextel frequency and code you're on, just like an FRS, and you can talk to someone. So if you have one and you're in the Phoenix area, reach out. Let's go test these. I want to see if I'm standing on South Mountain, can you hear me in the city? Because if you're on South Mountain, you can hear everyone and everyone's going to hear you. So that's such a pretty cool test. So again, if you have one, if not, go on eBay and find these, shop around. Sometimes you can get really good deals. I think I bought one of these for $30. The other one I bought a while ago for $40. So I think they're going down in price. And takes it a minute. Check. It takes a minute, but yeah, go pick one up. It's pretty cool. Just make sure you get all your pieces that you need. If the battery is bad, just get into the battery, see if it charges. If not, get the dock, and get your SIM card. And let's test them out. Check. Radio check. All right. Let me know if you got one. Let me know if you're gonna get one, and we'll start testing them around the valley. That's all I have for you. Thanks for tuning in. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, tell your friends. Start picking these up, and we'll bring these back to life. All right. Thanks again. Radio check over now.
Fine to the 964 northbound 051 at Bell. Per the GPS, that's going to be in the gore point for the Bell off-ramp northbound, and the involved is stating he possibly has a broken arm, which I'm starting Phoenix Fire for at 20 hours.